Well, folks, we made it. The end of 2024. I hope you had an amazing year. I hope you had a lot of fun. Hope you made a lot of memories. Hope you learned some stuff. Hope you got yourself uncomfortable and grew. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff, but I think it's only fair to review 2024. And I'm actually going to give away 5 awards for 2024. And I'd love to hear from you as I go through them. But first, let's go to Bitcoin. Over the last week or so, we have talked about home prices. We've talked about interest rates. We've talked about stock market. We've really collected a bunch of predictions for 2025. I thought, why not talk about Bitcoin? And again, I think this article was put out on CNBC, a collection of Bitcoin calls. So here we go, folks. Starting with CoinShares. CoinShares sees Bitcoin going to 150 grand in 2025. Matrixport is calling 160. Galaxy Digital calling 185. Standard Charter calling 200. Carol Alexander also calling 200, which roughly speaking is a double, right? I think we're at 91 or 92 this morning, something like that. So 200. Bit Mining is calling a range of 180K to 190. Maple Finance calling 180 to 200K. And the winner chicken dinner is Nexo. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. Nexo is actually calling for Bitcoin to hit $250,000 in 2025. I do find it interesting that there were no bears, right? I guess there's a feeling in the Bitcoin community that President Trump, the firing of Gary Gensler and just the whole crypto, I don't know what you want to call it, positive administration is going to take it to new heights. So those are the calls for Bitcoin in 2025. Again, I would have loved to seen an article that maybe had a bear or two in there, but hey, anywhere from 150 to 250 grand, something like a 50 to 150% increase is the call for Bitcoin, according to these experts. All right, now for my 2024 awards. I was inspired to do this by the All In podcast. The All In podcast obviously had their holiday special or Christmas special, and they did something very similar. I'm going to go through 5 things that are my awards for 2024. And if you'd like, I'd love to hear from you. You can leave comments below. You could do it one at a time. You could do it all 5. But here we go. My biggest surprise about 2024. To me, the biggest surprise in 2024 was the utter collapse in mainstream media. Mainstream media for, all of my adult life has always been, if it bleeds, it leads, always been driven on clicks. But the mainstream media jumped the shark, to reference an old saying. They frankly didn't do their job. They lied. They became puppets. They didn't hold themselves to any kind of standards, and we have clearly had enough. We are media, independent journalists. It was amazing to watch how quickly it all happened. I think there's a saying somewhere that it happened slowly and then all at once. Mainstream media's utter disaster, implosion, whatever, was a huge surprise. I honestly didn't think something that big with that many tentacles could burn to the ground that quickly. But sure enough, it happened. Now, my biggest disappointment for 2024 is frankly, the Ukraine war is still going on, right? The war in Europe is still going on. I think it's just about to celebrate its 2nd anniversary. I think it is. I think it's just, I don't know what else to call it. It's a huge disappointment that that is still occurring. I would have hoped peace would have broken out much sooner than it has. How about your best sports moment? Now, again, many of you, if not all of you, will have a very different answer to this question. If you know me at all, I am a Golden State Warriors, used to be a Golden State Warriors season ticket holder. I enjoy watching most of the games. And my best sports moment of the year is Steph Curry shooting over two defenders on a fadeaway with LeBron James and Kevin Durant wide open. And of course, not only did he take that insane heat check, but he made it to essentially go night-night to the French national team and secure the gold medal for the United States. That is, without question, my best sports moment of 2024. So I have two more awards. What is the best business story of 2024? And I really had to give that to NVIDIA. NVIDIA is, leading they're basically selling picks and shovels to this AI era. I think looking at what NVIDIA has gone from gaming chips to crypto chips to AI chips is amazing. They had a 10-for-1 stock split this year. So I will give that to NVIDIA. And then the worst business story, kind of in the same space, is Intel, right? Intel, I think it was Andy Grove wrote a book, Only the Paranoid Survive. Intel clearly was not paranoid enough, clearly was resting on its laurels, clearly missed a chip evolution. And I believe Intel will have had its worst year in 2024. So those are my 5 awards. I came up with that very quickly. If you want to play along, biggest surprise, biggest disappointment, best sports moment, best business story, worst business story. If you want to play along, leave comments below. I would love to hear from you. So let's shout out some folks in school. I want to congratulate Jason, Juan Carlo, and Darwin. All 3 of you have joined our One Rental at a Time school community yesterday. Darwin, I think, actually this morning. Thank you for doing that. Don't forget to introduce yourself, network. You will unlock all kinds of goodies at level 2 and level 3. Folks, we're now at 357 members or 58 members and growing. If you want to make a difference in real estate investing in 2025, you got to get in different groups. You got to get around people doing the same thing. It is clearly what we are building at One Rental at a Time. I want to shout out Vincent and Lindsay. Vincent and Lindsay have taken on the challenge of starting our 6th mastermind accountability call. Vincent and Lindsay will be running the out-of-state investing community. They will be holding their first and reoccurring sessions Friday at 8 a.m. Pacific. If you are interested in out-of-state investing and you're in the community or coming in, just know that there is a group just for you. I want to thank Lindsay and Vincent personally. This was an accountability group that I hoped would happen. It's also an area I have 0 experience. So watching go-givers in parts of the community raise their hand and say, let's give it a shot. We appreciate that. I will be getting the Zoom link sometime today, I'm sure. I will add it to the calendar. And then again, January 3rd, Friday, 8 a.m., out-of-state investing. Congratulations. Thank you so much, Vincent and Lindsay. Now, there's only one more group that I can think of that would be awesome to have in our community, and that is short-term rentals and medium-term rentals. Again, an area in real estate investing I have 0 experience. So if there are folks in our community already or want to join and have a great history there, it would be wonderful to round out that in the community. So again, I like to see 2 co-heads like Vincent and Lindsay, just so there is coverage in case one of you has, family stuff going on and the like. So there you go. Let's talk about real estate as we end the year, and we're going to talk about data from Mike Simonson. Basically, he's highlighting for 2025, there's two things to watch. Obviously, one being affordability. It is horrible. And the other one being seller volume, right? We have seen listings increase. So what are we talking about? As we end the year, we're going to end the year with about 651,000 active listings. That is up 27% year on year. That is meaningful growth, folks. New listings, 32,500. That is actually up 21% year on year. It is a holiday week, so rather noisy. But damn, 21% increase is nothing to sneeze at. Mike did go one level deeper for us, which we appreciate. He talked about the December average. So if you take each and every week of December, it was up 8% each week, right? The blended average was 8%. So again, new listings up. This is what Mike said about seller volume. Seller volume seems to be increasing. The truth will be in the spring, which is right around the corner. So we shall see. Pending home sales were at 269,000. That is up 4 1/4, so 4.25%. The recent week, however, only came in at 1.25. And once again, folks, we have learned 7% mortgage rates turn off buyers. 6% good, 7% bad. We have been talking about this for quite a while. And just rounding it out, we do have median home price at $395K, up 4% year on year. I want to call out and thank Suleika and her husband. I'm drawing a blank. Why am I drawing a blank? Come on. Where are my notes? I remember Suleika and I forget Jeffrey. Why can't I remember that? Jeez. That's what happens when you do these things live and you just go off the dome. I want to thank them. A lot of you have talked about wanting financial freedom. A lot of you. I would ask you to listen to that conversation with PTO for Life. That is their handle. And ask yourself a serious question. Would you do what they did? They are now just on the cusp of doing their 9th house hack. 9th. They have gone from living with roommates to living in a master bedroom to living in an ADU, back to a master bedroom, back to their own unit. They have lived in spaces as small as several hundred square feet. But you know what? Damn it. They are financially free. They don't have to work. They're financially free. I think there is a lot to learn from that conversation with Suleika and Jeff. Being on the same page, sharing the same goals, sharing the same vision, learning as you go. There's also an amazing story in there about cats. I don't know if you've seen the video. If you haven't yet, there is a tremendous story about, I think it's about halfway through the video, about 2 cats that were almost thought to be paranormal. If you haven't seen the video, you don't get the reference. But if you've seen the video, you know what we're talking about. So again, I would tell you, if I was in a relationship and my significant other was kind of on the fence, I would watch that video together and just ask, how bad do you want it, honey? How bad? How bad? We can have financial freedom in a decade, but this is what it's going to cost. You tell me. You tell me. You tell me. So again, I thought that was pretty interesting. Looks like the S&P 500 is about to do something pretty rare, and it could be a warning, pretty rare. The S&P 500 is expected to close out the year. We obviously have the last trading day today. Up 20% after being up 24% last year. It's done that a couple of times, back-to-back 20% years, 97, 98, 54, and 55. These are all 1955, 54, 55, 1935, and 1936. And then finally 1927 and 1928. So what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Yeah, we're on the cusp of 2 back-to-back 20% years. Pretty interesting. Looks like the BOI or beneficial owner information is once again on hold. It was off. It was on. It's now off again. Looks like it is expected to be on hold at least until March, which means that new administration will come in, and one might guess that this new government agency might go bye-bye. Might be one of those first ones that get cut, but hey, we'll see what happens. The BOI, or beneficial owner information, is being evaluated for constitutionality. It may not be constitutional, so we shall see what happens. Had a great conversation in school yesterday with Brian Adamson that we've actually shared. I gave it away on YouTube yesterday. Really talking about making meaningful and powerful change. Lots of us, most of us, frankly, create New Year's resolutions, or we say that 2020, next year will be different than this year. You need to watch that video with Brian. He gave a lot of, messages in that video, but the net of it is, if you really want to make something different, you want to change something, health, money, relationship, faith, fitness, you got to fire some friends. At least that's my harsh statement. You got to seek out new areas. We are doing lots of things in real estate investing, finance, one rental at a time, school, community, our live event in February. But watch that. Let's talk about that Vegas event in February 15th and 16th. I don't know if you've heard, but I've made the decision to save some money. I have cut the capacity from 400 to 300 for a couple of reasons. One, it saves me 20 grand. Two, almost a little bit over 20 grand. Food, chairs, cushions, all this stuff. Also, it'll be the same size as last year. And I don't have to worry about it selling out because we only have a few tickets left. So if you do have plans to come, we are 6 weeks away from the most impactful real estate event of the year. You will get your questions answered. You will meet amazing people. You will make new friendships. Come as a couple. It will have a special focus on couples. And bring your questions. This is an event like no other. It is really a celebration of the community. It is a place where you can go meet all the millionaires and get your questions answered, take some pictures, autographs, whatever the heck you want. And it will be a good time. Get your tickets, 6 weeks away. Eventbrite, just look up Eventbrite, one rental at a time, and get your tickets. Last thing, I guess two more things we'll do. I want to give you an example of a disrespectful offer. Again, I do think in 2025, it is a buyer's market. It's the perfect market for one rental at a time. Here's an example of a disrespectful offer that I fully approve. So there was a fourplex listed for $550K. This fourplex had been listed for more than a month. We had a one rental at a time fan write an offer, a cash offer, for $350K. Sounds disrespectful to me. How many of you have the balls to write a $350K offer on a $550K listing? I do. I've done it. Have you? That's what I mean, folks. This is our time. Now, what happened? The seller saw the offer, clearly not happy. But they did say, maybe. Let's wait a couple of weeks and we'll talk on January 1st, which, oh, by the way, is tomorrow. So who knows? Who knows if he's going to get this? He probably won't. But the key is write the offer, follow up. For example, if this seller said no to my $350 on January 1st, you know what I would do on January 10th? I'd write it again. And you know what? If I am feeling particularly dickish, I might write the next offer at $345. Just because. So again, and then lastly, it is home price day, which means Case-Shiller. Case-Shiller, again, as we always talk about, is old and outdated, but will provide tremendous historical views. So the data we're about to talk about is for October. Dude, it's January tomorrow. We're talking about October, but it is what it is. 20 city index is up 4.2% year on year, was expected to be up 4.1, so slightly more. The month-on-month index was up 0.32, was expected to be up 0.2. So again, slightly more than expected. Folks, at the end of the day, do yourself a favor, join our school community. It is priced at 67 pennies a day on purpose. 67 pennies a day is just enough to keep the haters and trolls away, but is cheap enough for every one of you to afford. You're going to be in a community of people going in the same direction. It's a safe place to ask questions. You will get thousands and thousands of dollars in free education. You will have weekly opportunities to interview and interact with millionaires. And it is the place to be if you want to take advantage of the buyer's market in 2025. Just go to school, search one rental at a time. You won't be disappointed. And heck, if you are, cancel your membership. It's month by month. Give it a shot. What do you got to lose? 20 bucks? Crazy. Take care. Happy New Year. Make some memories. Take some pictures. Let's get after it in 2025. Tomorrow's 2025. I have to start a 3-day fast tomorrow. That doesn't sound fun. Oh well. Health journey starts tomorrow. Later.